What's up, Giants fans, sub watchers, YouTube subscribers, Twitter and Instagram followers? It's Kush back at it again with another episode of the Just Chillin podcast call in show. How y'all doing, man? Shout out to everybody in the chat. First things first, I gotta do it. Shout out to the early people, Rob Pred, Jacob, and Nova. We got Yuvraj in the chat, Alan Boy in the chat. What up, y'all? How y'all doing? As you're coming to make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're new, and most importantly, hit that share button. Abrar, what's up, man? Now, I know, guys, it feels like it's honestly been like a month, maybe 2 months since I've really been on YouTube, man. But I was at that Lions game. Then after that, I had like a packed 2 weeks of work. Then I was on vacation. And then I had 2 weeks of finals. Just took my last final today. Should be good in terms of like getting back on track, which is funny because we're headed towards the end of our season. But it's also the holiday season. Next week is Christmas, or this week, I should say, is Christmas. You guys can't see it, but it's like right beside me. The Christmas tree is already up. The Christmas decorations is up. I hope you guys are going to have a good Christmas, a good Hanukkah, and every other holiday that you may or may not celebrate. But what up, y'all? I see Densley in the chat. See Camel in the chat. I used to say Camel so much. I had a great weekend. What about y'all, man? Sunday was the World Cup final. I know not too many Americans watched the World Cup final. I was extremely happy. Watched it at work. The entire workplace watched it. I'm a Lionel Messi fan. I was so happy to see that man get his World Cup once and for all in his finals trip. And then later on in the day, as I was studying for a final, I had the Giants game in the background. And the New York Football Giants came out and beat the Washington Redskins, or Commanders, I should say. We tied with them the first time. Finally got them the second time. I swear to God, y'all, no matter how bad or how good the Giants are, we will always, and I mean always, own the Commanders. Thank you. Wow, that's a lot. We will always own the Commanders. And then, of course, with that win, we set NFL history. We have the most wins as a franchise against another franchise in NFL history with 105. I believe is what it is, man. Absolutely crazy. We own Washington. Washington fans are very talkative nowadays, though. So they're going to be out here talking about that holding call or that PI call at the end of the half. I can bring up, and so can everybody else, bring up hands to the face on Tibbs. We could bring up the calls from the first game. We could bring up last year with Dexter Lawrence. Like, we beat them. That's what matters. We're 8-5-1, and we set Giants history too. Because for the first time in 5 years, or 6, depending on how you count it, we will not finish with a losing record. And that is what I was most happy about from that game. No matter what happens, we could lose out for the rest of the year. We don't finish with a losing record because we have that tie. We finish with a record of 500. And that makes me extremely happy. It's really been so long. The last time the Giants had a winning record in 2016, I was like a sophomore in high school. I'm about to graduate college. You know what I mean? About to enter the full-time workforce. It's crazy, and it really shows that we're headed in the right direction. I think I'm sure as many of you guys may hold the same opinion as me. We got the right guys in Brian Dable and Joe Shane. You know what I'm saying? The coach staff, they don't always make me happy. They don't always, call what I might think is the right place. But at the end of the day, we are surpassing expectations this year. We are performing extremely well considering the talent that we have. And I think we're going to be set for the future. I think that once this coaching staff has the players that they feel are the right ones for their scheme, we will be one of those premier teams in the NFL. We're going to return to that status. And, of course, I got to talk about KAYVON Thibodeaux real quick. By the way, it is a call-in show, so don't worry. I'm going to drop that link soon, and I already have a member in the back for you guys to come on and give your opinion. KAYVON Thibodeaux came out, man. He told us, he's been telling us all week. Don't think I wasn't paying attention just because I wasn't making videos. KAYVON Thibodeaux been telling us all week, primetime likes him, and he had by far his best game. He shut the doubters up. He shut the haters up. Everybody that was saying he was a bust, everybody that was saying, man, as a number 5 overall pick, he should be doing more. And I caught myself saying that a couple times. I never said he was a bust, but I was like, I kind of expect a little bit more. Only a couple times, though. Only a couple times, but I got to put it out there. That man was a beast. Absolute game wrecker. And it makes me so excited for what he can be in year 2 when he has a whole offseason to hone in on his game more, to hone in on his physical body more. He makes Azeez Ojulari look slow. And Azeez Ojulari is no slouch. A lot of people sleep on Azeez. But since Azeez came back 3 weeks ago, the Giants have 12 sacks in 3 games. Before that, they had 20 sacks in the entire year. That matters. Azeez Ojulari is a good player, and KAYVON makes him look slow. KAYVON makes him look weak. Think about that for a second. He came out. He's going to be the future leader of this defense. He's the next Michael Strahan. A lot of people saying future LT because LT is the greatest of all time. But I see so much Michael Strahan in him. Personality, off the field stuff, and body type. I think he plays more like Strahan than he does LT. That's just me. Let me get this super chat. I did not miss it. Christopher for the $5 super chat. Thank you so much. He says, to me, I kind of conflict on Jones. I think he's a game manager. I want a better QB, but I also want to make the playoffs. Well, I think there's a strong chance we're going to make the playoffs. Daniel Jones is always going to be a controversial point, a point of contention, a point of argument for the rest of the time. And we're going to get to it, Christopher. Don't worry. Let me get a couple of comments, and I'll pop on the first caller, Mike Nixon, and I'll drop the link in the chat. Hey, Pizzle, what's up, man? How you doing? Yo, Raj, you got into Columbia? Yo, congrats to my man Yuvraj in the chat. This dude got into Columbia. Yo, are you in the NYC area? You're not gonna be too far from me. I mean, you're gonna start next year, but yo, congratulations, bro. That's an amazing feat. Amazing feat. Congratulations, bro. Hey, Pizzle, what's going on? Josh, yeah, bro, it's tough. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's tough, but I try to make it happen. Jacob, hey, good luck on. I hope you did well on yours, I should say, because you finished them. Yeah, I don't know. The Redskins got a bigger ring to it than my opinion. Let me see if anything here. Island Boy in the chat. A win is a win. Didn't like the way we won. What's up with the 20s? We always hit 20 again, get stuck. Since 2016, we couldn't score past 20. It's just what it is. Luan, what's up, man? How you doing? Ligma, what's up? The Irrelevant Fan, what's up? And let's get it, because I see Jones' comments, and we just need to get the talking started. Mike, what's up, man? How you doing?
Yeah, what is good, Hub?
Yeah.
First and foremost, how has your finals been?
I feel like I did really good on one of them. The one I did today, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, that was tough. Mm-hmm. That was tough. We're gonna see what happens, though. Mm-hmm. It was tough, though.
But anyway, KAYVON Thibodeaux is not him. He's Timothy.
Thibodeaux, bro. KAYVON Thibodeaux.
Yeah. KAYVON Thibodeaux.
Listen, Trayvon Walker, who? People were really trying to tell me, and to this, like in the season, people were still trying to tell me that Trayvon Walker was the number 1 overall pick. You got Sauce Gardner out here showing people he could have been the number 1 overall pick. But if we're talking positional value, KAYVON should have been the number 1 overall pick. It's still crazy to me that he dropped to us to number 5.
And besides, like, only one game, I have not even heard Trayvon Walker's name, bro. Hutchinson's been better than him.
Aiden Hutchinson been as advertised, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He has to be more consistent, but he's been as advertised. He's been
I'm just gonna say this. If KAYVON Thibodeaux
the question in the
does
chat,
not win
vegetables,
does not win NFC Defensive Player of the Week,
I think he did already, or was that just a tweet I saw? But I think he's gonna get it. I don't think this past week any NFC defensive player had a more impressive performance than he did.
Now I debated like yesterday and mainly yesterday that it's either way. It's either going to be KAYVON Thibodeaux or somebody in the NFC East, because I watched that Eagles game with my dad, and Hassan Reddick had a good game too.
Every single year, Hassan Reddick be having one of those games that make him look like one of the best defensive players in the NFL, man. Man, you're not the only person in chat. I see you, though. What's up? Mike B, Kashif, how y'all doing? Tell me about, man. Just, you know, let's continue on Thibodeaux a little bit before we get into more nitty-gritty topics. Go ahead, man.
Bro, I need to get myself a KAYVON jersey, bro.
Me too.
That's my next jersey. Then maybe after that
game, I damn near almost went on
Yeah.
NFLshop.com and got it. But y'all know how Christmas shopping be. I can't even make that purchase till next month.
Yeah.
What up, Summer
Hey,
Party?
hey, who knows? You'll get one for Christmas. Who knows?
Could be. Who knows? Could be for sure.
But I mean, listen about Daniel Jones.
Go ahead. What'd you think about his
I,
performance? He had, I think, one drive that stood out a lot.
yeah,
And credit
yeah,
where it is due, we won with Daniel Jones. He helped us win down the stretch. But that one drive, that 97-yard drive, I think, he was
yeah,
throwing some darts. He
yeah.
was throwing some straight bullets and
Mhm,
darts, whatever you want to call it. Impressive. Really impressive.
mhm. Yeah. Now about him, would I like a better quarterback? I think we all would, but he has not played bad this year.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe besides I mean, he'll definitely want to have a couple throws back. But what quarterback does not want to get a couple throws back? You know,
Mm-hmm.
I think Daniel Jones is what that dude super chat. He's a game manager.
I'm gonna say something. I don't necessarily believe this comment, this comparison, but I saw it over the weekend. I'm
Hmm.
gonna present it to you, Mike. I'm gonna present it to the chat. Shout out to Super Taj. And Densley says, I'm gonna ride with Daniel Jones till the wheels fall off. That man is doing so much with so little. I agree. Credit where credit is
Yeah,
due. Let me
yeah.
present this now. Chat, I need y'all involved. I need y'all to put your thoughts in the chat immediately. And Mike, I saw a tweet that said Daniel Jones is so similar to Blake Bortles with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Somebody that people didn't know if he was the guy or not throughout his rookie deal. He took them to the playoffs. They gave him that 3-year extension. Turned
Hmm.
out it wasn't necessarily the right deal. What do you think about that comparison?
I can definitely see that. I can definitely see that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've also said in the past that the Jaguars totally gave up on that team. They were only a quarterback away. They had an elite running back, some pretty decent weapons.
An elite
They had
defense.
a elite defense, and the owner, GM, whatever, just gave up on that team.
Mm-hmm. Let me
But
get let me get some of the thoughts from the comments here. Shout out to Sergeant Mayhem Chat. What up, Sergeant? How you doing? He says it was Mono's tweet. Thank you for giving credit to the guy who tweeted. I completely forgot who it was. The name Mono ain't even ringing a bell, but shout out to Mono, whoever he or she is. Rob Pred says, I don't want a $50 million contract, QB. I think he's talking about going into free agency for one, because we're definitely not giving Daniel Jones a $50 million contract. So party asking, wasn't Bortles like 30 when he was drafted? He was older, but he definitely wasn't that old. Christopher says, why want move on from Jones? So I'm guessing you want to keep him. Densley says he disagree because the Jags had mad weapons. I mean, they had Allen Robinson, but who else? Who else did they have? Mad weapons? I don't know. They had Leonard Fournette. They had Allen
yeah,
Robinson. I think Saquon is better than Leonard Fournette. Obviously, we don't have a wide receiver one, so I guess better wide receiving core automatically than Jones has.
yeah.
Kashif says DJ would be undefeated with the Saxonville defense. Saxonville defense was crazy for sure. I think it was the best in the league that year. I don't know if he'd be
Mhm,
undefeated. We have a pretty good defense. Statistically, I think it's like middle of the pack.
mhm,
Maybe we do get a couple more wins. I don't know about undefeated though. I'm gonna tell you that. Let's see. Jacob says Kush that 97-yard drive. He converted 4 thirds down and that 4th and long. I'm telling you, it was very impressive. Blew my mind when we went for it on 4th and 9. I was like, hey, yo, Dable, what we doing here?
Yeah.
And I shut right up, man. That throw was made.
I
That catch
mean,
was made. They leaned over. They got it. Wait, let me just continue real quick, Mike, and then
uh,
we
uh,
gotta get back to the Bortles comparison thing because I do think it's relevant.
mhm. Yeah.
Rob Ped said he's well rounded, has a decent arm, decent legs, good game management. And shout out to Blue City Empire Sports. I guess just popped in. He says KAYVON ThibodeauX is him. I agree. I am Mike. Go ahead.
All right, but first off, let's get a shout out to our Knicks. We won our eighth straight game,
Yeah.
and
If we make this, I hate when the Knicks do this, bro. Because you know my opinion. I think Tom
yeah,
Thibodeau should have been fired, but here he is
yeah,
giving a good argument to keep his job.
yeah, bro, and in dominant fashion too tonight.
Mm-hmm.
130-94 is the score right now with a minute left.
Mm-hmm.
But
Hold up, Mike. I gotta pop in somebody real quick.
all right,
This man is busy, so I gotta pop in when I got time.
all right.
Good friend, my boy Vibes. What's up, man? How you do? Shout out to Vibes.
My brother from another. What's going on? Listen, man. I know I'll be busy as hell. So when you like pop on, and when I got the time, I'm like, I gotta pop on, man. I just gotta fucking pop on, man. So thank you, man. Thank you for having me, man. Thank you for bringing me in quick. But I don't want to, cut off Mr. Mike Nixon there, man. You making some good points there, man. What
Go,
you
yeah.
got?
Let Mike continue. I just had to pop you in.
I appreciate you, brother.
All right. Where were we?
You know what, Mike? To let you regain your train of thought, I'm gonna present the same comparison to Eli that I just did
Okay.
the chat and yourself,
Okay.
right? I'm sure you might have saw it. You might have seen this tweet Vibes where it was like comparing Daniel Jones' situation to the Blake Bortles and Jacksonville Jaguars situation. They didn't know throughout his rookie contract whether he was a guy or not. Towards the end of it, they ended up making the playoffs, and he was a part of that reason they made the playoffs.
Mhm.
They gave him the 3-year deal. Obviously, it didn't turn out to be the right decision. What do you think about that comparison?
Listen, I think it's fair because of the contract situation, right? I mean, I think Daniel Jones is slightly better than Blake Bortles, obviously. You know what I mean? But
Mm-hmm.
at
Mhm.
this point, we know what Daniel Jones is, and I just got finished saying this on the show, right? Daniel Jones is going to be that game manager. Daniel Jones is going to do exactly what the coaches tell him to do,
Mhm.
and it's fine. I know most of the Giants community wants this rah rah type of quarterback. Shit, I want that. Shoot, I want that. You know what I mean? I want that in my quarterback as well. But I came to terms and to the agreement that okay, he's just going to be that game manager type of guy, Blake Bortles. You know what I mean? So as long as he can get us to the playoffs and get us to win some games, I think all the Giants fans, with all the past losing, right, can actually and will sign up for that. So I think 3 years is fair for him. I think, make it friendly to where you can kind of get out that deal. But I don't think Daniel Jones is going to command much, right? So we'll say about $21-22 million. And let's see if we can go from there. But I think that's fair enough to give him another shot at it and see what he can
Mhm.
do until someone else can come in. He's a perfect bridge guy. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So let's see what he can do from there, in my opinion.
Let me get the super chat, and then you got to go, Mike. Or I guess you get to go and continue what you were saying. Christopher,
Okay.
shout out for the $5 super chat. He says, "This is why I want to move on from Jones. To me, the guy you always going to want more than he will give you, or you're going to want more from him than he will give you," is what Christopher is saying. And thank you for clarifying. I thought Christopher wanted to keep Jones earlier. Go ahead, Mike. Shout out
Yeah.
to Nate in the chat, by the way.
Yeah. So anyway, Daniel Jones did his thing this week, and even Saquon, he said it all week. He was feeling himself a little there and a little there, and you know what? I saw a little bit of that,
Mhm.
and even toward the end of the game, when we just kept on feeding him and feeding him. This dude wants to be a giant, and I do too, but for the right price.
I was gonna say
I'm,
that's a good second question to get into right here, because in all the midst of Daniel Jones and this great season we're having, I think it definitely over the past month or so kind of fell under the radar of, hey, yo, we got the Saquon Barkley contract. He was really good, I'd say, for the first 10 weeks. Kind of quiet over the past
mhm.
month. There's legit reasons. I think there's valid opinions on why he was kind of quiet. People say, I mean, we've been literally running him into the ground for like 10 weeks straight. He
Yeah,
was the entire
Yeah.
offense. So he had to slow down at some point.
yeah.
And then there's people saying, oh, well, this proves that he can't be the guy. And I'm just like, yo, listen. I disagree with that point, by the way. But I'm just like, yo,
I
listen, where do we
disagree, yeah.
stand with Saquon Barkley contract situation real quick, Mike? And then I'm going to have to pop you out because now the line is building.
Okay. But, yeah. So, I would bring Saquon back for the right price. I'm not giving him no Zeke deal, no McCaffrey deal. I will say a good number to start at about 12 and a half, 13 mil a season. For like,
It's funny. I feel like that would be the cap for some people.
for like 2 to 3 years.
Okay. What about you, Vibes?
Well, I'll tell you this, man. Saquon will probably demand in about the 12 million range, right? I think probably call me nuts for saying this, but I see 14, in there as well. That could be in that range as well. Saquon is this offense, man. Let's be honest, right? Saquon is gonna without Saquon, this offense is gonna be trash. Right? Like we've seen how much he was ran down and how much his offense has done in that little small stretch of that game where we didn't win that many games and tied a game. So this offense is built around Saquon, and he's going to command that type of number. It's just, can you sign Saquon and Daniel Jones and still have enough cap space to get players in here to help you out with this roster? Guys, it's going to be tough.
People are thinking, and it's not necessarily false. We do have, I think we're top 15, top 10 in cap space next year, but that cap space really eaten up if you give both of these guys some like relatively big deals. That automatically it shrinks. Mike, let me get your last thought though, and then I'll pop you on, man.
As always, Hub, it's been good to talk with you. Eli, it was great talking with you, man.
Same here, brother Mike. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too, bro.
Mike, have a great one, man. Appreciate the call as usual, bro. Have a good night.
Yeah, peace.
Before I pop in the next caller, shots everybody in the chat real quick. Jamar Wilson says cap. I love Saquon too, but that was cap. Are you referring to the range that Eli presented, the 12 to 14 range? Or are you saying he's getting less? Give me a little bit of specifics. And Mike B has something that I'm definitely going to ask you about. He says, hey, yo, Tibbs look good out there.
Listen, you know what?
You know what he was saying all week, bro? He was saying prime time likes me.
Likes me. But you know what, Hub? I want to give you your fucking flowers. Your freaking flowers.
You good.
I want to give you your flowers, brother, because you was on Thibodeau way before he even got into this league. Like, you was really waving that flag in Hutchinson as well. And you was hitting, and you hit right on targets with both of those guys. So,
yeah, Hutchinson is as advertised, and Tibbs this game look better than as advertised. It makes me so excited for next year.
Way better. And let me tell you this, man. That low motor that analysts said he did, like he had, he gives up on plays.
They said low effort. Yeah, you tell me that man is low effort, bro. I swear to God, some of these analysts, just because, and I know Kadarius Toney is no longer on the team, and we could definitely, that's a whole other situation, but they did the same thing with Toney that they're doing here. The dude has legit off the field, outside of football interests and businesses and stuff like that. It doesn't mean he's not going to perform on the field. You saw what he did at Oregon, and he's bringing that straight to the NFL. Like, a lot of people say he's the next LT. I disagree. I think he's our Strahan, our second version of Strahan. He reminds me so much of him. Personality, obviously on the football field, body type, position, the way he plays, but that off the field thing too. Strahan was very smart with his ventures outside of football. And Thibodeau, you see the tweet? He was like, I want to be like Mike. He retweeted Mike Strahan. He said, I want to be like Mike.
And listen, though, he has the speed. I think he has a little more speed than Strahan, per se. Because Strahan was fast. Don't get me wrong. I'm not poo-pooing on Strahan for everybody in the chat, but I think he has that second gear like OC Umenyiora. Because the way he bull
That's a
rush
good
coming around
comparison that other Giants
that's a,
fans brought up too.
love OC Umenyiora, the way he plays that bull rush, that tackle, that strip sack. Like that's OC in there as well as Michael Strahan, as far as the film and the studying and that's all Michael Strahan as well. But I think he has a little bit of both in his game. And man, Thibodeaux came alive. He is him. He's exactly what we thought as Giants fans in the Giants community coming out. I was excited, especially when you put me on way before the draft and etc. I had to do some film and I had to do my studies as well. And I was like, yo, I need Thibodeaux on this team. I'm more than happy we have him. And listen,
I'm
a lot of people,
glad and I still say to this day, Joe Shane started a conspiracy theory that said this man ain't it, so he would drop the 5, man.
It's funny you say that because I don't know if I said the same thing, and I was like, man, I wonder if they put something out like that to have people, disinterested in him, and it's funny you're saying that. So I totally agree, man. I think the Giants kind of threw a little something out there to kind of have him fall a little bit.
As we got closer and closer to the draft, bro, he kept dropping, but never on the Giants board. There was never any reports for the Giants that he was necessarily out. There was nothing confirming that he was in. But for those other 4 teams, you were like, yo, he legitimately might go drop a lot. Yeah. But like that's why I say that. Also, I was gonna say something. Oh yeah. Thibodeaux looks so good on the field. He made Azeez Ojulari look slow and weak. And you guys know I'm a huge Azeez Ojulari fan, and he needs more respect as well, by the way. I said this to the chat earlier. I'm not sure if you noticed. You probably do. Came back 3 weeks ago. In those 3 weeks, the Giants defense has 12 sacks. Before that, we had 20 on the season. Just to show you how important Azeez Ojulari himself is to this defense, and especially our pass rush. He made that man look slow. He made that man look weak. He made that man look like second rate last night.
Now, let me ask you this, because I posed the question, too, to a bunch of Giants fans as well. Can KAYVON Thibodeaux do it at a consistent level? Can he do it again? Do you think he has the power to do it again?
And that's what makes me excited about the second year. I think he can. He will have a full off season to hone in mentally on his skills and develop his body more. I remember last year I was talking a lot about Azeez Ojulari being young because he was a younger player in the draft. He gained more weight, may or may not have some bad side effects because I do think that's what caused him to be more injured this year. KAYVON, knock on wood, I don't think anything like that's going to happen. I just think once he matures into his prime, we're going to have one of the best, if not the best, defensive ends in the NFL. Listen, this is high praise because this is a player that's already up there in his career, very young, Michael Parsons. I think he's going to be I think he can reach that level at some point in his career. I don't know if he can reach it as early as Micah did. Micah did it right away, but I think he can reach it at some point in his career.
No, I totally agree. And let me say this too, because as far as him doing it again on a consistent level, that type of game, it's going to be tough because now teams can scheme around him or scheme for him, right? So if he can do that and play at that level again and again, that's like superstar level, and that's hard to repeat in some cases. But if he can have a disruptive game, like as far as the sacks coming, a little bit of the forced fumble maybe,
but the tackles for losses,
but the tackles for losses, all of those count. If he can have that, then I'll say he's consistent. He's that guy. I think he's that guy now, but I say he'll be more consistent for sure. But I want to see what happens when there's film on him. I want to see what happens when teams start to scheme for him. But in that case, I think Azeez Ojulari will eat as well. I would think he will. And this is where Leonard Williams and Sexy Dexy will come in too.
I was about to say, don't forget about our sack leader, 8 sacks, Dexter Lawrence in the middle. And Leonard Williams been taking a back seat this year, but I'm fine with that. I'm fine with Leo taking a back seat, being basically the 4th option pass rushing wise. You crazy. You crazy.
I totally agree.
When he's at his height. Let me get this what's it called? Member chat from Mike Nixon. Doesn't show up on Streamlabs, so I gotta go over here. It says it drives me nuts that everyone was calling Tibbs a bust, and he has no motor. That's bull crap. I watched him in college, and it takes a bad team for you to lose his love for the game. And Oregon was that. Oregon wasn't too good, and that man was out there putting up numbers every single week. Let me pop in. Oh, go ahead, and I'll pop in.
Not only that, right? Even though that team was an abysmal, right? He knew he was going high in the draft, right? Like, so at that point, you got to kind of make that business decision, right? And go, do I want to kind of exert myself a little bit, or do I want to save myself for an NFL career? And it looks like he kind of saved himself for an NFL career because, man, he came alive. Shout out to KAYVON.
Let's get the next caller in here. Nova Nebula. Nova, what's up, man? How you doing?
Yeah, it was good, Kush. How you doing? It's been a
Good.
minute.
What's good, man? You not gonna say hello to my man Eli?
Yo, what's up, Eli? Nice to meet
I
you,
was
bro.
gonna say.
I was
Hey, nice
getting
to
there.
meet
I
you,
was
Nova.
getting there.
Nebula.
Damn, bro.
How's everything, man?
I'm good. How you
pulling with
doing?
you.
Man, I'm good, man. I'm just a guy. Don't let him do that. I'm just
Yeah,
a
nah,
guy. I'm just a fan of her, man. That's all.
That's
right.
cap. That's cap. Go ahead, Donova.
Nah. I mean, really behemoth sides win for the Giants. Probably their biggest in like 6 years. Sunday. I'm happy that they won.
Hey, it
Washington
ended
fans need
our
to stop
losing
bitching.
record streak, bro.
Yeah, it
For the
did.
first time in 5 years, we're not gonna finish with a losing record.
Yeah,
Like I
we're
said, that's what made
500
me the
at bare
happiest.
minimum. So
Hell
Yeah.
and my goal was 8 wins. I already feel like they won 9 because that first tie with Washington, they just really let get away. So I'm satisfied. They got a good chance to make the playoffs now. Let's just hope that they can get some people back. I know. I don't know what's up with McKinney. I've been saying like since he had the injury, like I just don't think he's gonna be able to come back this year. It sucks, but it's whatever. But hopefully getting Adoree Jackson back soon enough. I don't know. Maybe we can.
And
Like
I love
said,
our
I'll be
coaching
satisfied
staff,
just
but I'm
getting
still
there.
gonna hate on Brian Dable for putting that man at punt return.
Yeah. That's to me. I think that's the one thing everybody can is justified in critiquing Dable for this entire season. It's like, come on, because the minute they said they were even thinking about it, like the entire community was like, "Don't do this, please, do not do this."
Every football fan, Giants fan or not, was like, "This is not a smart
That's a
decision."
bad idea.
Yeah. But no,
Yeah,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, oh, there's a delay, of course. Go ahead, Nova.
I was just gonna say no. I am very pleased with the win. I thought that they got back to doing some of the good stuff that they were doing earlier in the season. I feel like they kind of got away from in the rough stretch they had there. But yeah, I'm just happy they won. I'm tired of hearing Washington fans cry. It's funny how they really think
fans talk spicy.
Yeah, and it's like, bro, like who are you? It's like we're bad, but like
y'all are
Jesus,
cockroaches
like, who are you?
that were nowhere for like the past 20 years, and it's like, where are you coming from, bro? With this energy too?
Yeah, honestly,
like,
and I'm seeing some of them like, we got
bro,
robbed.
Can we all agree
of
Washington
sweep?
is literally the joke of the NFC East?
Yeah, I've
absolutely.
always considered them the bottom of
crazy?
the barrel.
That's a feat. That's a feat for Washington, because the Eagles ain't had a Super Bowl till a couple years ago. And y'all were still the joke. Like, how you have multiple Super Bowl wins and you the joke of your division, bro? Like, come on,
man.
Insane. Nah, their fans have just been on one. Like I said, like I'm seeing them like, oh, we were robbed of a sweep. I'm like, you guys think that you outplayed the Giants in both games? The Giants look better than you in both games.
You scored 12 points, bro. Like, come on now.
If it wasn't for Zion Gilbert, the goldfish, playing in the first one, and John Feliciano flexing his muscles, you'd have got swept. Like, what do you the Giants look better than them in both games, like objectively. Yeah. Like, please stop.
I agree with you.
I agree. Totally agree.
Let me get this super chat real quick. Rob Pred. This was going back to our Thibodeau conversation, and Nova, you can hop in all you want. He says, also, no, you mentioned this, Eli, both of us did. Having KAYVON has been helping out Leonard and Dexter. The whole line is a unit. And then I just want to get Jamar Wilson's comment real quick. He responded to me, asking him to clarify about his Saquon comment. He says the cap I was talking about was Saquon being our whole offense. I love Saquon too, but he's not the one carrying us that much on the offense. It's DJ, but I will always give Saquon his credit too. Shout out to heavyweight champion of the world. Go ahead, we all won't go with that one, man. That was a nice comment right there. Go, yeah, any one of y'all take that and go.
I mean,
it's your show, so I'm gonna give it to either Nova or you up, because
Nova, you go, and then Eli, you gotta go after Nova.
Okay,
go
I'll go then. I'll go.
Okay.
Honestly, okay, because I'm not just gonna come on here and just rag on Daniel Jones, because I've said it before. Like, I rock with Daniel Jones. Like, I'm not like his biggest supporter, like the biggest fanboy of him, but like I like Daniel Jones. You know what I mean? I think he does some good things and stuff like that, and I guess that kind of leads into the point where it's like, I don't think either of them necessarily carry the offense per se. I think it's a collaborative effort. Like, Jones does good things when he has to. He makes good decisions with the ball. He's been very careful and efficient with it this season for the most part. I still wish he would be a little more aggressive at times, but again, you can't really put that all on him because, look at what he's out there working with, and especially with the offensive line, the interior. That's another thing. Can we talk about that though? Like just getting
Go ahead.
Ben Bredesen back, like just how
Yo.
instantly, like it just looked immediately 100 times better
And
than what we've been seeing.
Yeah.
Like,
I think a good amount of Giants fans saw before he went down. It was like, yo, Brent Bredesen low key improving a lot. Like this man went from being somebody that I really thought should have been cut in a short time too to somebody I was like, hey, yo, he's putting some clinics out there on a couple of these blocks, and like you say, he came back and you saw it immediately.
Yeah, the offense looked a lot like how it did when we were on the winning streak before everything, started collapsing. So, even with just the intermediate passing game and stuff
John
like
Feliciano
that.
gotta go though. I'm sorry, yo. Listen,
bro, I'm tired of Feliciano.
You could label me as a John Feliciano hater, bro, and I'll accept it because since we signed him in the offseason, I didn't like it, bro. I was like, why? Who is this random dude with a nickname Dirtbag? All right, first of all, I think the offensive lineman should be nasty, narrative, or topic, or whatever. I think that's hella overrated. That's just me. And I was just like, that's all this man can stand on right now. And big ups to Saquon. Saquon and Daniel, they're like Eli. To give credit to everybody but themselves, right? And he will always credit the line. He'll always credit Mongo and whatnot. But get that man off my team, bro. I don't want him here.
I've had enough of Feliciano, and we've all been like just hammering for them to just like kick Gates over at guard and just get Feliciano over there. But that's Brian Dable's guy. You know what I mean? He's not gonna do that to him. So
yeah,
it's unfortunate. But nah, yeah, Ben Bredesen, like definitely. I feel like the run game is going to get back to being like more effective as it was in the earlier has. That was another thing too, where people were really starting to rag on Barkley, and you kind of touched on that earlier, Kush, where it was like, oh, he's no, but
I don't mean to cut you off, but I want to put you at a stopping point there because we got to get to vibes to his response or reaction to that Jamal Wilson comment, which was about Barkley. So go ahead, vibes. And I think you brought up a good point earlier where you were like, a good example of how much Saquon means to this offense is the fact that this past month where he's been doing nothing essentially, I mean, there's reasons for that, whether you want to agree or not. We saw that we didn't win a game. We lost 4 games and we tied in a game. But go ahead, vibes.
Listen, man, let me say this, right? I give the most credit to Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is playing. He's having a good season. But to put him as like he's the savior of this offense, that's cap, okay? Now, let's take a look at the beginning of the season where Saquon was healthy and going beast, right? Now that you have to oblige to that running game, now it opens up the pass a little bit, right? And then when you open up the pass, it leads to that read option to wherever you want to do, right? So if Saquon's getting the ball and they all go for Saquon, now Daniel Jones can run the ball, right? So don't tell me Saquon isn't a key part of this offense because it does rally around him. He's a huge part of this, more than Daniel Jones. Is it light years ahead? That's up to be debate. You know what I mean? But for me, I think he is the pivotal point of this offense. Now, when Saquon was obviously maybe dealing with an injury or etc., we've seen that offense fall off. Daniel Jones can't put that on his shoulders and actually run the ball as much as he can because now they're game planning for him. And when they did game plan and take Saquon Barkley out and dare Daniel Jones to win them the game, unfortunately, he just wasn't that guy to do it. So now we see Saquon Barkley go a little bit beast mode here, right? The stats wasn't exactly how we used to see them, but they were pretty solid stats, right? You got 5 receiving yards for 33. You have 18 attempts for 87 yards or 88 yards, maybe 83 or something like that, but it was in the 80s. But now you can see how Daniel Jones and opened up that pass game a little bit because they were trying to stop Saquon, but they just couldn't. He was on one. You know what I mean? So again, Saquon is very important to this offense more than Daniel Jones. And if I can't convince you by looking at those stats. Go to them stats, my brother. Go to them stats. Look at all them games. If I can't convince you, man, then I'm going to just say this. You're a Daniel Jones truther. Tell me you like Daniel Jones without telling me you like Daniel Jones. All right, brother? But I give credit to Daniel Jones when it's due.
I don't think we have any Daniel Jones haters on the panel or even in the call-in show. I don't think I've ever had a Daniel Jones hater. But to kind of segue back into the topic that Nova brought up with Saquon kind of getting back to form this game, that's Ben Bredesen. Let me get your thoughts on him coming back, the O-line, and then we'll head back to Nova after that.
Listen, Bredesen coming back was huge, right? I mean, you can see how he's opened up the holes for Saquon and etc. The pass protection, as well, because Daniel Jones didn't have a sack. But I think the game plan was to get the one read, get the ball out quick, right? Get those wide receivers, scheme them open in them zone defenses, and you can see it worked, right? So I won't say pass protection as well, but that running game, and they open up them holes. That's what Bredesen was for, and he came back and he did his thing. Shout out to the O-line, man. They actually performed very well, giving up no sacks, man, and that's a first, right? So why not, man? Give the credit when credit's due, man, and then that's what's up. But shout out to Kafka, too. I think that was a great game plan. Get that ball out quick, because you know that front line of Washington was going to come and pin their ears back and come get Daniel Jones, but he got rid of that ball pretty quick.
Go ahead, Nova.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much like in agreement with what he said. Like that's almost pretty much how I've always kind of felt about Jones, but especially like specifically this season. That like I first said, like I don't think I think Saquon definitely contributes more because he is the one game breaker that they have on the offense, and it is the guy that, you know, once he gets going, the whole defense has to, you know, like take account for, and it opens up everything else. So I think in that aspect, you know, I would definitely say Saquon is more valuable, but I give Jones his credit because, you know, he's done a great job operating with, you know, the cards he's been dealt this season, and, you know, he's done his job. He's done enough. He's won them games. They're in a position now late where it looks like they're gonna make the playoffs, which is really exciting, regardless if they do anything in them or not. So yeah, that's pretty much my take on it.
I see all this smiles and stuff, man. What is your thoughts, man? What's going on?
I'm sorry, low-key Rob was distracting me backstage, and I got to keep an eye on backstage and whatnot.
Is it R0?
Yeah, he's up next.
Shit.
He's up next.
That's what I'm talking about.
So no, I agree with y'all. Listen, and I will always get hate for not, I guess, loving Daniel Jones as much as everybody else. But I'm gonna tell y'all right now, never forget, for 2-3 years straight, I was the biggest Daniel Jones supporter on YouTube, man. I was out here fighting battles I shouldn't be fighting, dying on hills I shouldn't be dying on for 3 years.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I had enough. I ain't gonna lie to you, but I never will hate on the guy. I recognize the situation he's in. He can do some things, he can't do some things. But I really think you're capping if you say that he is more integral to the offense than Saquon Barkley. I think it's 100% Saquon Barkley. Doesn't necessarily mean that's what it would be in the future, because Saquon might not be here next year. Doesn't necessarily mean that this is going to be a running back oriented offense in a year or 2 years. This entire offense, I feel like, is going to be completely different in terms of the way it's ran and personnel wise next year. I feel like there's going to be a good amount of changes coming. But Nova, let me get your last thoughts, man. I'll pop you out and get the next caller in.
Last thoughts is just like I said, just great win. I'm happy that they got it done. They needed it. You know, we're looking forward now to the Minnesota game. I don't really know what's gonna happen in that game. Honestly, with the Minnesota game, I feel like if the D-line can continue to go crazy like
I'm gonna tell you this though, Nova. Let Minnesota mess up and leave us a 33-point lead.
Oh yeah,
we're not blowing that, bro. We're not blowing no 33-point lead. Bro.
I don't think we're gonna be that lucky, but we'll see what happens. Like I really think, you know, I mean, the Minnesota game, I think they said even if the Giants lose, they'll still have like an 80+% chance to make the playoffs. So that's cool.
Yeah.
They just gotta, you know, I think, you know, one more win gets them in pretty much. I think
if we go 2-1, is definitely no question making the playoffs.
Oh yeah,
but we could easily go 1-2 for the rest of the season.
1 and 2. I think still gets them in pretty much. Like no question.
We'll be 9-7-1.
Yeah,
and I think we'll be the 7th seed if we end with that 9-7-1 record. Shout out to Nova, man. Thank you for calling in, bro.
Yeah, no problem. Have a good night, Kush.
Let me get this comment. Densley saying, bro, that's because Daniel Jones has no weapons. Come on, it's hard for a quarterback to put the team on his back with no wide receivers. And you bring up a valid point. I'm not going to disagree with that point. Oh, go ahead, Eli. I was going to say something, but go ahead.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, right?
No, you good.
But I'm using this past game, right? Talking about he don't have the weapons. But he actually threw Richie James open. Like, he did these things. Like, he has these certain intangibles to make people get open in a scheme as well, I guess you could say. But he actually did rise above the X's and O's. Stop giving him an excuse, guys, okay? He is what he is, and it's okay. Like, it's okay. He's just an average quarterback, a game manager that's going to get you those first downs when needed, especially the 4th and 9. That was huge for Daniel Jones. But let's not act like he's like a Pat Mahomes type of guy if those receivers was there. Come on, guys. Come on. Are you looking at the same game I'm looking at? Kush, correct me if I'm wrong, please. Correct me if I'm
I
wrong.
wasn't gonna say anything much too different. There is definitely a little bit of a narrative going on where I feel like sometimes Giants fans put down other players to prop up DJ when it's like you can prop up DJ without putting down other players.
Correct.
Like Richie James, for example. I ain't the biggest Richie James fan. That man, he got me in my feelings with those punt returns messed up. But as a wide receiver, he's low-key been one of the most reliable this year.
Yeah.
And yes, he came off of the practice squad, but he's a solid 4th or 5th wide receiver in the NFL. So that's another thing where I'm just like, hey, yo, low-key, we got to stop calling some of these wide receiver practice squad wide receivers. Is this still one of the worst wide receivers? Right? Is this still one of the worst wide receiving corners in the NFL? No doubt. No doubt.
Of course.
But we got to keep that in mind. So Party says, in my opinion, we don't know what DJ is yet. Give me his playoff performances. Let's see that clutch. Then we'll know. I disagree and agree. I think we do know what Daniel Jones is.
Yes.
But
how many years is going to take?
I would agree on this, though, Eli. I definitely want to see if he's different in the playoffs. You know, just quarterbacks are just different in the playoffs. We know that. I want to see
know something crazy, Kush?
Yeah.
I was calling for him to be that dog, right? In these past few games where Saquon just wasn't Saquon, I was like, DJ, you got to be that dog. You got to be that guy that just take over that game, run a lot, etc. And he just wasn't. And there's, again, nothing wrong with it, but he just wasn't. So I don't expect anything different come playoffs. DJ is going to throw the ball. He's going to be safe. He's going to do exactly what the coaching staff asked him to do, and it's going to be Saquon heavy. That's what I think, Kush.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, please.
I can't correct you or incorrect you if that's not a verb, because I can't see into the future, my boy.
Right? Yeah.
But
not yet.
let me get Afghanistan's comment.
Yeah.
This super chat, and then I'll pop on Rob. Afghanistan, he says, I understand having enough because our offense certainly isn't the prettiest thing, but we should have enough of is our inability to build a better team around Saquon and DJ. My 2 cents. That goes back to Dave Gettleman, of course. We'll have to see if Shane sticks with them, and then if they do build a better team. Like I said, the most valid point is that DJ hasn't had a good team around him. Nobody's arguing that, right? And then Rob says with the $5 super chat, DJ fantasy rated 13-ish. He's better than 19 other QBs. We ain't playing Allen here. Take the 30 million split between Barkley and Jones. First of all, Rob, we ain't gonna use fantasy to rank quarterbacks now, my boy. Come on now. Second of all, he is performing better for sure. I think this is his best year of his career.
Absolutely.
So, like I said, I'm always gonna give credit where it's due. But it ain't gonna be no 30 million slip, man. You talking about Saquon getting 18? I mean, DJ getting 18 and like Saquon getting 12? I think DJ is gonna command a bit more on the open market than people realize.
Oh yeah.
There are some teams that's gonna look at him and say the same thing that some Giants fans are saying, where it's like, we have a better O-line than the Giants. We definitely have a better wide receiving core than the Giants. Let's get this man and see what he could do for 2-3 years. You know what I mean? I'm just putting that out there. I think he's going to command a bit more than people expect.
You don't think San Fran will call him? You don't think the Vikings will call him? Like, there's some teams out there. You don't think Seattle
the Vikings?
will call him?
I think the Vikings will keep Kirk. I don't. But
we'll see. But I'll give you that.
I think a better example was
Seattle,
the Saints.
The Saints. All these other teams, the Colts, they can call Daniel Jones for the services and pay a whole lot more than what the Giants would be willing to pay for him. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I just don't. He's just an average quarterback, game manager. That's all I'm getting. It took years for me, and I was on that hill with you, Hub. Daniel Jones, willing to die on hills too. But after all these years, and this season especially, with a competent coaching staff, a competent offensive coordinator, that's scheming these games for him to win, you got to go, okay, there's no other notch. He's just gonna be this guy. And cool.
Rob just put one in. I'm gonna pop him on to give his thoughts on that just in the private chat, that I was like, yo, if he retires, if Brady retires, the Bucs might call DJ up.
Bucs might call him, right? You right?
Yo, you Rob, right? What's up, man? Go ahead, do your intro, and then you get in here, bro.
Finally, R0B has come back to the hub. And I've got this championship belt because I want all you Washington Commander fans to take a good look at this.
The communists.
Okay,
You got defeated by the
Because-
red, white, and blue.
I want you guys to see
Let's
this.
go.
Okay, it's upside down, but I want you guys to see this
Looks
because this
amazing.
is as close as your poverty ass franchise is ever gonna get back to tasting glory. But guys, they're passionate feelings. Shut the fuck up. But guys, he took with the referee. Shut the fuck up. You lost. Cry me a fucking river. Build a bridge. Get the fuck over it. We'll see you in 2023.
Let's go.
Now,
Dude, I'll tell
you
you
go-
what, man. Listen.
yeah, go ahead.
Before we go into that, Eli, I was fighting. I know I heard you were fighting, but I was fighting on Twitter last week. Okay.
Oh man.
The things that I heard, oh yeah, your franchise, you guys support women beaters. You guys cut, suspended, and signed Josh Brown. Oh, LT. Oh, he kids
Really?
and drugs and he beats women.
That's what they're doing.
Bro, and I'm listening to this and I'm like, I know that you're not talking with your owner, right? I was like, I
Dan
know.
Snyder?
I was like,
Yeah.
Dan Snyder. I was like, yeah, we got women coaches. They were like, yeah, we got women coaches too. I was like, yeah, I bet you Dan Snyder tried to give him a real nice signing bonus. You know, I mean, like he tried to give him a real. I mean, come on.
Isn't he selling a franchise? I thought it was
Yeah,
a reporter
and
that's supposed to
some
sell
more
a
shit
franchise.
just came
I don't
out,
know if
bro.
he's gonna
Yeah.
sell it because he got. I think he has some legit dirt on other NFL owners. I think we could all agree some NFL owners are shady,
Oh, yeah,
and that
of
might
course.
keep him in power, yo.
Jerry
And by the way,
Jones.
bless you. Yeah.
Sorry.
By the way,
I'm
Yvette,
getting
that's
over,
a little bit of a
I'm
stretch.
getting over this flu. You know,
It's flu season right now.
I'm
Yeah,
really
yeah,
just
yeah.
allergic to a bunch of bullshit. You know, and it's coming out of Dallas.
Excuse me, guys. I gotta get my greens in real quick.
No,
Yeah,
get your
man,
greens
do
in.
your
No,
thing.
so
Get your greens.
to touch on the when you guys were talking about Daniel Jones,
Mhm.
I don't remember the name, but I'm sorry, but I'm not signing my players due to their fantasy numbers. Not going to do that. If you're doing that, that's fine, and that's why you're not running the New York Giants. Okay,
Thank God.
so okay, that's the first thing.
I love you though, Rob. I appreciate the support. That's the Rob that said that. I love all my
Rob,
supporters.
listen, yeah, 100%, Rob. You know, but by all means, just not do that. But he doesn't have weapons. Listen, the three of us here. We're all victims. We were all bitten by the Daniel Jones bug, and we were all rah. Let's
Rob
go.
was
let's
the
go.
longest. Rob lasted. The longest
Listen.
out of
I
all
held
of us. You
out
lasted
longer
till
than
this year.
any of y'all.
You
Okay,
held
I
out
held
till-
out longer than any of
Yep.
y'all. And
Yep.
and if I've changed, it's like Rocky. Okay, it's like Rocky 4.
And let me put
I've
this
seen
out.
a
Let me
lot
put
of
this out.
changing.
Rob, hold on. And let me put this out. This is not to bash Daniel Jones. It's just our
No.
eyes.
No,
It's telling us something different. Go ahead, Rob. I'm sorry.
absolutely. I felt like Rocky and Rocky 4 at one point. I was like, I've seen a lot of changing, and if you can change, and I can change, everybody can change. And some of you just don't
You know what,
want
Rob?
change.
But before we keep running in circles, because all three of us would have the same talking pounds, I'm gonna
Yeah.
ask another question related that I feel would better show that we're not necessarily DJ haters, but this is what we think. Do you think you could succeed with Daniel Jones? I'll give my answer first. Yes, I do. I think it would. You could definitely succeed with him. I think you literally have to fix that O-line. You have to give him better weapons. The defense, you need to shore up the cornerback position and whatnot. Go in. You could roll with Daniel Jones for 2 to 3 years. Do I think that is what Dayball and them might do? I'm not sure. Because while in today's NFL, 20 to 30 million is not a lot for a quarterback, it's still a good amount of cap space. So it's like, how you gonna get those positions filled in? I do think it might be the harder route. It might be the shorter route, and that might be. I feel like what I just said might conflict with each other. It might be the shorter route, but it might be the harder route. Like long-term success, I don't know. But go ahead, you guys can pick it up.
I would agree. I think that you can sustain, where you're competing But you're right. You have to have the O-line in place. You have to have, the Daniel Jones isn't going to make miracles happen with nothing. Everything has to be there. I would even go as far as to say this. If Daniel Jones was here and this was year 3, right? And
Like year 3 of what? The rebuild?
No, this was year 3 of his contract, like of his rookie season. And he was here.
I'm with you. Just 1 year earlier, brother.
Just 1 year earlier. Maybe there's something that's there. Or I even think to the point where, let's just say he's became this, if depending on where the roster would have been, they may have given his 5th-year option strictly to be a bridge for the next person that's there. But now, because you're in year 4, there's a lot riding on the line. You just got to you got to go cold turkey. But can you win with him? Yes. Is he going to put you in a bad situation in games? No. Is he going to be flashy in games? Not consistently.
I was going to say
occasionally. But when you need him in those moments, like a 4th and 9, 3rd and 15.
We saw him. He has the ability to do that.
He can come through to you. He is the Alex Smith before they got Patrick Mahomes.
You know what's funny, Rob?
For the Kansas City Chiefs.
I gotta go back to what somebody said in the chat. I don't know why. It keep coming back to me. But it's like, I really think when we make the playoffs, the way he performs is gonna I feel like, I see Eli shake your head. You may disagree. I feel like if he goes in the playoffs and he is different, because there are bro, we saw with Eli, obviously. I'm not making no Eli Manning comparisons. Not just in football.
Yes.
Not just in football. In almost every sport. There's dudes, when they hit the playoffs, it's like they're completely
It's like a light
different.
Switch. It turns
completely
on.
Different. So I feel like, you know what, this playoff game, that we may or may not have is going to tell a lot. But go ahead, Eli. Shout out to Max Webster in the chat, by the way.
Let me tell you this. Yes, in the playoffs, every player has that extra notch, right, that you see. But I'm going to tell you this. We had some very important games that we had to win, right, that DJ should have came out swinging on.
Oh, Eli, I'm sorry. I know I've been cutting you off, but this is very important.
No, go right ahead.
Remember, Asia Robinson, guys, I need celebrations emojis in the chat. She said her mom is home from the hospital. Praise God, Asia. I'm so happy for you. Happy for your family. Hopefully she getting healthy, bro. We need to get some celebration emojis in the chat, bro. Shout out to moms.
Round of applause. This is something that we do in New York Revival from time to time. Thank you, Rob. Thank you.
I didn't mean to my bad. I hope there's no copyright.
Go ahead, though, Eli. Go ahead.
But listen, I just don't. I mean, again, I would love to see what he can do in the playoffs. I would love to. I want him to eat. I want to eat these words. I definitely want to. I just don't see it. I don't see that dog in him. Like I seen it in Thibodeau, right? When this is an important game, we had to win. Thibodeau stepped up. I seen it in Saquon Barkley. I even seen it in Richie James. You know what I mean? But I just didn't see where Daniel Jones could have. Look at, he played a good game. Yes, we won. He managed the game well. But can you definitively look back and say, well, Daniel Jones let it rip? He was on a whole new level. No, it's just Daniel Jones. It was just exactly what you expected him to be. And I think in the playoffs, it's going to be that. You're going to see a heavy load of Saquon, wide receivers will get open, and the defense is going to shut down. That's it. But I want to eat these words. I hope he could be that guy in the playoffs. I want to see it. But, man, it's going to be a lot of egg on fans' faces when they look at DJ, and it's going to be the same numbers, 1 touchdown or 0 touchdowns for 160 yards, 200 yards, and they're going to be like, he did great. Like, no. Like in the playoffs, you expect someone to do even better. Exactly. He did exactly what he needed to do. Now, can Daniel Jones be that bridge guy to get a contract? Sure. But it has to be the right price. You can't. And here's what I think the Giants would do. I think they'll franchise tag him if push comes to shove. They probably will.
Yo,
if not,
the thing, you know why I'm so against it though, man?
I'm against it too. It's guaranteed money.
The franchise is so expensive now.
Well, that's just
it is
freaking.
It is.
Well, I said it earlier. This was a month or 2 ago. I said if you're going to tag them, don't use the franchise tag. Use the transition tag, because you put the transition tag on them, and then he could still go out, and you could see what other people are going to give him. And the
Somebody's gonna
transition tag, the transition tag is like 21, 22, I think, or something like that. I don't know what it is. It's roughly around like, I think, actually, no, I'm wrong. I think it's like 26, 27. So it's a couple of million more than what his 5th-year option would be. But you put the transition tag on him, let him go out there and see what he's going to have. If nobody else is able to like, depending on what they give him, if you want to match him, great. If not, then you got him for 26, 27. If that's what you do. Me personally, I don't think they're going to franchise tag him. What I think is honestly going to happen is they're going to let him hit free agency. And then you see around 3 or 4, day 3, day 4, see what kind of buzz you got. And if you don't really have a lot of buzz, you go to him and you say, yo, Daniel, hey man, we noticed that, what's your market looking like? Listen, if you want to come back for 15, 16, 17, we'll give it to you for a year if you want to come back, and let's see what you can do and whatever. And they might do it that way, but they'll let him hit the open market because it's a win either way. If he gets a long-term deal from another team, they get a 3rd-round contributory pick the following year. If not, maybe they get to play an angle and say, hey, I guess the market wasn't what you thought it was going to be. We'll offer you 16 or 17 for a year if you want to come back and you want to run it back with the team. And this, that, and the third. It may play out into their favor. But I do agree with Hub. If we make the postseason and he gets a win in the postseason, then that complicates things a little bit more, where they may start to think about it. They may start to, the wheels might turn a little bit, like, okay, well, we made it here.
Now, if they see a different level of DJ, or is it the same old DJ that can get them to? Because we know he can win games, right? But do you think the wheels will start turning when they go, oh, he stepped up?
I think it might go potentially both ways, right? So when I look at the Washington game, I look at it like this. Look at the first game that we played, and our offensive line got abused in that game, absolutely abused. But this past game, they were doing a lot of quick reads.
And shout out to the return of Ben Bredesen. We said a couple times tonight.
Yeah, Ben Bredesen.
That too.
When he came into the game in the second quarter, that was when we went on a 97-yard drive. When he came into the game, that was when we got backed up and he came in. And you could see the difference in the offensive line. And that's the first time since, I think, the Jaguars game that our whole offensive line has been on the field at the same time, our starting offensive line. So I think it's a combination of a little bit of both. I think if they were to get a win and he keeps playing efficiently, I think they look at some of the deficiencies and they say, all right, look, our offensive line wasn't very good. And yeah, we don't have the weapons, and yeah, our quarterback isn't this flashy guy. We need to get the ball out of his hands quick and take the defensive pressure out of the game, which is what they did. And they did a good job of that. So I think if he has a flashy game and he goes crazy, then maybe that's a little bit eye-opening. But I do think that if they win, he would be a bridge and nothing more. I'm okay and would accept Daniel coming back if they did something with it, meaning you go and you get your quarterback, or you say, because I don't think that they're going to give him a 1-year deal, say he's our guy. If you give him a 1-year deal, you have to go after a quarterback.
Yeah,
that's your thought. To me, if you sign him to a long-term contract, 4 or 5 years, okay, now I want to see what you're going to do. You say that means this is your guy going forward. So now what are you going to do to fix it? And so that's what I want to see.
Yes, sir, Asia, 8-game win streak. Shout out to the Knicks.
Go Knicks.
Let's go.
I want to put a pause on the DJ conversation real quick, because
Absolutely.
we're definitely going to get back to it once I get the next callers on. And Rob, I'm going to give you a choice of 2 topics. You pick one to get into.
Okay.
Mr. KAYVON Thibodeaux, or with this win now, look into the rest of the schedule. You pick.
Let's talk about the schedule.
Go ahead.
Let's talk about the schedule. Because I mean, KAYVON.
By the way, Rob, I'm sorry, real quick, just because Rob hit that super chat. I'm gonna get that super chat when I pop in our next caller, because like I said, we're gonna get back around to the quarterback situation. But go ahead.
we know KAYVON is who he is, and I love the swagger he brings. And he's going to be a leader on this team for a long time. So going into the schedule, I liked the vibes that I saw on the sideline of this past game. I liked Barkley being very vocal on the sideline, talking a little bit of trash. He's like, yo, he's like,
you saw the NFL.
Yeah, I see. He's like, I put the heat on him. Put the heat on him.
He said I put him on his butt. Got censor a little bit for the channel.
Put him on his ASS. So Brian Dayball, getting in DJ's face and giving him some.
He was like, "That's how you play quarterback.
That's how you play quarterback." And that was on the 97 drive, and we're gonna get back to it, but calm down. That doesn't mean he's bringing it back. But I want to talk about the schedule. To me, I think we're winning on Saturday, and I think the score is going to be 27-20. And the reason why
we score
I think
above
that
20
way,
again. Nice.
27-20.
Nice.
And I think the offense will put up 20 points. I think it's going to be 2 touchdowns,
defensive touchdown,
2 touchdowns, 2 field goals.
Okay.
And then it's going to be a defensive touchdown late, either an interception for a touchdown or a fumble for a touchdown. That's what I think it's going to be. And the reason for that is the last time that Kirk Cousins played the New York Giants, Mr. Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie had 3 interceptions and he had a pick 6. And that was the last time that Kirk Cousins played the Giants. And he was getting blitzed like the guy from Remember the Titans. You blitz all night. Okay, so I think it's going to be a winnable game strictly because they are very talented. But let's not be frauds here. Kirk Cousins is a good quarterback, but when the pressure is on, he does not deliver more.
I was going to say,
times
didn't
than
we
not.
play the Vikings in 2019 with Kirk Cousins? GA's rookie year? We played them and they beat us
Yeah, I believe so.
in 2019.
maybe.
So
Listen,
that was the
maybe-
last time we played them, actually. And
Oh,
that was
I believe so.
that's more close to what Cousins is today. I don't know if that kind of collapses your argument, but
Listen,
he
last
was
time we
better with
played
the
him was
Vikings.
back in 2016. Okay, when we intercepted him 3 times. Okay,
That's your
No,
story.
but-
You sticking to it.
this is my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, right.
But he's made. He's a great He's a good quarterback. But you take the catch by Justin Jefferson. That wasn't a good read. That was in 5-man coverage. Justin Jefferson bailed him out on that one. If that's not Justin Jefferson, that's probably intercepted. He had 4 interceptions against Philadelphia, trying to force it to Justin Jefferson. If you can get into his face and you could blitz him, right now I think we're ranked 7th. We get to the quarterback in about 2.5 seconds. We are 7th in the National Football League with that. I believe that Kirk Cousins is top 5 in getting sacked. He's been sacked like 40 times, and Daniel's up there as well. So if we can go ahead and we can get to Kirk Cousins, I think that is a game that we could potentially win, where I think Kirk Cousins will be the reason why we win the game. I think he'll make a mistake. Jonathan Taylor just got put on IR for the rest of the year, so he will not be playing next week. So I think that also becomes a winnable game. So against Indianapolis.
And then
The
we're left
question mark-
Eagles.
The question mark game is the Eagles. And I also think that's going to play a factor into this week's game because Minnesota is still playing to stay in the hunt. They're still playing to stay in the hunt. And right now, if it doesn't look like Jalen may not play against the Dallas Cowboys. So if the Eagles lose, that puts even more pressure on the Vikings to win the game because there will be just a game back behind them to try to sneak out and win out, and maybe the Eagles lose another game or 2. So the Eagles game is a question mark based on who plays. I think we lose the
Eagles
game.
are deep, though. I do want to point that out.
They
Giants
are
fans
deep.
are going to hate me, but they're very deep.
They are.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think we lose
yeah.
in Philadelphia. I think we win at home against Indy. I think we go 2-1 over the next 3 games.
Wow.
2-1 over the next 3 games.
Now, I did say we could go 2-1, 1 or 1-2. I don't think we're going to go 0-3. Hopefully not.
No, definitely.
No,
But
definitely not.
Eli,
Listen, if we
go
win,
ahead.
we can make the playoffs this week. If we win,
I know. If we win
yeah.
this week,
if we
we
win
solidify, I'm
and
pretty sure.
Seattle and Washington lose this week, we're in.
Correct.
And Seattle is playing Kansas City, and Washington is playing the 49ers. So, listen, the Giants, Saquon, Ward, KAYVON, all you guys, if you want it, go and get it. It's in front of you. You got to want it. You want it, go get it. It's got to be the mantra every single game. Now that you've got these front guys healthy in Leo and Dex and Aziz and KAYVON, you got to be the mindset that Strahan said going into that Super Bowl in 07. If we do not get to Tom Brady, we will not win this game. That has to be your mindset. And I'll share this last thing. On the final drive, Wink Martindale, with all the pressure that we got on Taylor Heineke, Wink Martindale only blitzed once on that drive.
D-line was performing then.
He only blitzed one time, and I got that from watching from Monday Night Countdown. He only blitzed once on that drive. The rest of the pressure was just done by 4 guys.
Was it our starting 4? I
Yes.
gotta get. Yep, I'm telling you, Aziz being back helps a lot. Go ahead though, Eli.
Listen, looking at the remaining schedule, I said this even on New York Revival, and I also said it on Peter Schreck's show this afternoon. Shout out, he had me on his show, his podcast, man. If you guys don't know, Season with Peter Schreck's, man, go check it out on all streaming platforms.
Cap,
yes.
no way.
Yeah, man. I was on there. I was a special guest, man. That's what it is. Y'all can go check it out for sure. Yeah, it was awesome. Had a great time, man. Shout out Peter Schreck's, man, for sure. Thank you so much.
For real, royalty right here, my guy.
Oh man, no, listen, man. I'm trying to be like you guys, honestly, man. I'm trying to be like you guys. But
yo, listen, hey, you need to reach out to him, and you need to be like, yo, listen, what do I got to do to announce the pick at the draft?
Well,
yo,
listen,
I'm just saying, bro.
Peter Schreck's good friend of the show. Good friend of the show. Along with the dots connected. With Nate Burleson as well. So it was awesome, man. I reached out to him, man. He just randomly hit me up. Was like, hey, come on the show. Let's have some fun. So shout out to Peter Schreck's. Thank you so much, man, for having me on that platform. But I said this, man. I think the Giants gonna upset the Minnesota Vikings this weekend, man. I think they're gonna win.
We got 2 upsets right now.
I would say 2017 the Giants, 21-17 the Giants. This was my upset. I really think, just like R0 said, you get to Kirk Cousins, he's prone to make mistakes. Like, he's not an elite quarterback, right? He's a guy that he's above average. Don't get me wrong. He's gonna do his thing. But if you get to him, especially with that front 4, we don't have to blitz as much. KAYVON got to have another game. I really think Aziz is gonna go off. I really do think Aziz is gonna go off this weekend because he saw what KAYVON did.
I was gonna say why. He saw what KAYVON did.
He saw what KAYVON did. And just when people think he's a tick slower or whatever the case was, right? He's going to come in. He's going to dominate. And plus, don't forget, now teams are going to scheme for KAYVON Thibodeaux.
I saw somebody said in the chat, I think it's Kashif, Darisaw got injured, so they're missing their star tackle.
I'm telling you, man. I think, they're going to get to Kirk Cousins, and I really think they're going to cause havoc. I really think this high-powered scoring offense of the Minnesota Vikings will be only held to 17 points. And I think the Giants are going to come out with a win, man. I really do think so. So as far as the Colts, that's a game that they have to win. But we all know trap games, right? Like, we all know stuff can happen, right? Yeah. But at the same time, that's a game they need to win, and they have to.
How crazy would it be if we go 2-1 and the Colts game is the game we lost?
That'd be insane. I'll be so upset. But hey, we're still 2-1,
typical
right?
fucking Giants.
Typical fucking Giants. If that does happen,
yeah. But you can't lose the last home game of the year, right?
They could. They could.
I mean, of course they could. But
I was going to say, obviously, you want to end the home game. On a good note.
But you know what? On a side note, there, not to cut you off, is it crazy? We only have 3 regular season games left.
Yeah,
that is
like
crazy, man. Like how
That's
fast
insane to me.
the season goes. Because, and I don't know about y'all, but the way I think about it is like when football starts, that like gets me through all the way up to this time of the year, Christmas, holidays, everything like that. It ramps it up, and I feel like it makes from September to now just go super fast.
It feels like it's been a month only. I'm gonna be so honest,
right, dude? I feel like the season just started.
And let's be honest, we create content, right, based on the Giants. So once the NFL season's over, we're all looking at each other like, All right, what are we doing?
What are we doing?
What we gonna do next? What's happening?
What we gonna talk about?
What we gonna talk about? Like we're fighting for content. You know what I mean? So with that being said, yes, it does go by very, very quick. That's why I try to enjoy this moment, Giants fans. On another note, we can argue and bicker later on once the season is over. But right now, enjoy this winning. But the Giants can win this weekend. I think they'll win against the Colts, and then they have Philly, I believe, to lock it up. That's a game I'm just going to chalk it up as an L unless they rest everybody. But they're so deep on that roster, man. I really think the second string can keep up with the Giants. You know what I mean? And to be honest with you.
No, I agree with you there, yeah.
I'm going to be honest, man. Philly's the best team in the NFL. And again, I understand as the Giants platform, we're all Giants fans, but let's be honest here. Philly is the best team in the NFL at this point. So with that being said, man, the Giants are still going to go, I would say, hopefully 2-1 in the next couple, I would say.
Here's what I got to say. Not necessarily the rest of the schedule, because I don't have much to add that you guys didn't already say.
Mhm.
But just in regards to the next game, there's going to be Minnesota fans crying come this Saturday when Fabian Moreau locks up Justin Jefferson for less than 50 yards.
Let's go. Let's go.
Saying,
Round of applause. Round of applause.
I'm saying. Fabian Moreau masterclass. Listen, I tweeted out early in the game on Sunday night. I was like, hey, yo, Richie James masterclass. And Richie James had a masterclass. Fabian Moreau masterclass. I'm speaking it into existence.
Let's go, Hope. Let's go, Kush.
Into existence.
Let's go, Kush.
Let me pop on Mike Green, the next caller, and I know for sure Mike is going to talk about DJ, so I'm gonna get this super chat that Rob said way earlier. Shout out for the $10 super chat, Rob. I appreciate the support so much. He says no one is giving up on Mahomes. Was the answer roll the dice and risk getting a Darnold, Mayfield, Lance, Locke, Mac Jones, Tua, Wilson, maybe hit a Yahtzee for first pick? Jones is better than those. It's always, and I mean always, a gamble for any pick in the NFL draft. But like I said, it's not for me to speak on right now. I want Mike Green to come on, give his piece as we revisit the quarterback talk right here. Go ahead, Mike. Mike, that's a lot of noise. That's a whole lot of background noise, Mike.
Yo, Mike, that's a nice ring you got there, pal.
Mike, I'm gonna be honest. That's a whole lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of background noise still, man.
Yeah, I'm running my son some bath water real quick.
Gotcha. Parenting.
Yep. What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing?
We're good. Is it possible you could get in a quieter room, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna make this real quick. It was a great win by us. You know, the comments need to quit complaining, having the attitude. We took this L when y'all falsely claimed Dexter Lawrence for jumping offside, so I call ourselves even. As far as DJ is concerned, I think he should come back next year. I really do, because it's kind of just hard to just find a QB and just replace it. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm kind of tired of starting over. You know, yeah, we got a better GM, better coaching staff, but it just gets old. It gets old real quick.
I agree with you on being tired of
to get it right.
over, but it would only be like the second start over in terms of quarterback position. If we move on, that is.
I guess that's fair. Fair.
It wouldn't be completely starting over.
But right. Well, I'm finna go take care of this. I gotta take care of parenting duties. But before I go, I do want to say we are upsetting the Vikings this Saturday. Go Big Blue. Love you guys. Peace.
Go Big Blue. Love you too, Mike. Mike, for those of you that don't know, former member of the New York Giants organization. Thank you so much for calling in, man. Have a good one. Eli, you good?
I was trying to hear him, but the feedback was crazy. I was trying to lower it. Anyway, I had to work it out.
Parenting is important.
Yeah, parenting.
It is.
I don't know about it, but these two guys do.
I'm gonna have 6. You know,
6. I just got 2, man. I'm good.
I got
Sixes.
twins cooking right now.
God bless you. God bless you, man. You
I
know
want to
that.
ask you. I want to ask you boys a question.
Rob, before you ask that, let me pop on. The next caller's already here.
Yeah,
Sergeant
yeah.
Mayhem, what's up, man? How you doing?
Oh shit, Sarge!
Finally!
Oh, hey, you better shut your mouth right now.
You jabroni. Know your role.
You better shut your mouth right now, Sarge.
Mayhem. What's going on, Sarge?
The world's longest podcast intro. Yeah, no, I'm good.
You know, I'll be honest. If you
What
listen, I
happened,
could be the
kids?
Rock. I could be the Rock, and you could be like Hulk Hogan. If you want to do that, that's fine.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Macho Man.
Oh,
Let me tell you something, brother. I think that'll be good.
Dream rises to I can do them all. But we're not
What
gonna do
you
that.
gonna do, brother? When the New York Football Giants roll into Minnesota and go wild on you?
I think Sarge should
That's
be
too many
Hulk Hogan.
shirts. You gotta rip all the shirts. It's too many shirts.
Yeah, I know, but God
What
forbid
up,
if your
Kush?
chest is anything like your facial hair,
Yeah.
we're in some deep trouble.
No, dude, it's not. All the hair is here.
Good
From
for
the
you.
neck up. It's weird as hell.
So I was going to ask a question now that everybody's here. What do you guys think about the Jalen injury? And I slowly think over the last couple of weeks, the Cowboys have been on a slow, methodical decline, and they're also getting hit by the injury bug. Their defense has been slowly kind of going downhill, giving up points. The pass rush has not been there. Van Der Esch is now going to miss multiple weeks with an injury. They lost a guy on the D line. They lost a corner. And Jalen's injury, it's a sprain, but it's to his throwing shoulder. So, which is, you're going to be playing in cold. It's going to be in Philadelphia. That could affect you a little bit. Thoughts going in, for the rest of the season with these guys?
I'm gonna give a quick 2 cents, and then we gotta go to Sarge because he just popped in for him next. My quick 2 cents is this might be a pipe dream. You could call that if you want, but I said it in the middle of the season when we were really getting hit by the injury bugs. I was like, yo, I would love it if we get healthy towards the end of the season and other teams get injured, and maybe that's happening. Maybe it's not. But I'm just putting that out there, yo. It's always about how you finish the season. I'll just put that out there. Go ahead, Sarge.
All right, so I think they already ruled Jalen out for this Saturday's for next season.
Not officially,
Not
but him and Nick Sirianni spoke, and it really sounded like they were gonna roll with Gardner Minshew because they want him healthy.
So they're rolling with Uncle Rico, who's gonna throw a football over that mountain over there. And you know what? That's the thing is,
Sarge, can you fix your mic a little? You sound muffled.
It sounds a bit muffled. Yeah, I can't lie.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is
that all right or what?
Keep speaking. I'm gonna see if I can do something.
Yeah.
From my end. Go ahead, Sarge. Speak. Just say sentences.
Well, what I was gonna say is, just say sentences. Sentences.
Well, I turned your volume all the way up.
All right, we're
Sarge, are you using the microphone in your earbuds, or do you have a mic that you
It should
use?
be. Hold on a second. Let me check something real quick.
I'm about to say, take out your earbuds. Those earbuds, the wireless ones, is always tricky.
Actually, you know what? They work pretty well on mine.
Hey, there's a dog.
Hey, don't go crazy, Sarge. Go ahead, man. I just wanted to hear it a little better. Don't go crazy.
How's that? Better? Worse? Something?
Kind of sounds the same, but it's okay. We can hear
It's
you.
all right. Yeah, we get it. Get it, brother.
Whatever. So they're going to roll with Gardner Minshew. Shouldn't be that much of an issue because they are so deep. I mean, let's face it. Minshew actually is a fairly decent backup quarterback, and he could probably get them through the Cowboys game if that's all that you're going to need Jalen to sit out for. And then we'll probably see Minshew again in the second half of the Giants game, last game of the season, because they might play their starters for half because Sirianni is just that much of an asshole to try to run up the score first half and then sit everybody. But even then, their second string is probably better than most of the guys that we're toting out there anyway. So, I wouldn't be surprised if they sit him out for this game. So we'll see.
Okay. I'm kind of with the same thing. There's not much debate here, I guess. Like, Jalen is injured. He's a starting quarterback. He's performing at an MVP level this year, whether some people want to agree with it or not. It makes more sense to let him set out 1 or 2 games so that you have him for the playoffs, because you basically locked up that first round bye, than it does to play him at all. I don't think there's anything much up for debate right there. There's an interesting comment from the chat here by Rob Pred once again. He says, haven't really been mentioning how Evan Neal, has been doing. We did spend almost the same draft value there. I think we could all agree. We ain't mentioning it because, unlike a good amount of fans on Twitter, we got some common sense. Evan Neal ain't no bust. And y'all could come to me all you want with the offensive line, specific tackle things. You guys know I know my tackles. I said the same thing Andrew Thomas rookie year when everybody was calling him a bust. I was like, give him time. He's literally one of the best, if not the best, left tackles in the game right now. Evan Neal is a rookie. He's going to be fine. And it's going to take a little bit of time.
Okay. And Hub, correct me if I'm wrong too. He was the most complete offensive lineman coming out in his draft class as well.
He was regarded like that was his label. You know what I'm saying?
That was his label. Like his technique, etc. Like, listen, it's going to take some adjustment. The NFL is faster, stronger. You know, it's just going to take some time as a rookie. But guys, he's going to be okay. He's definitely not a bust, man. I agree. Definitely not.
Exactly.
Definitely not.
Rob, what you looking at over there? You look confused. No. And by the way, Rob Pred, I'm not saying you saying anything, but thank you for the topic. You know, it was a good question.
Yeah, absolutely.
Posting something. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, keep supporting, man. Keep sending that super chat. It's awesome, man. Rob is great. Shout out to Rob, man. Keep keeping that chat going.
I do what I can. I'm just kidding.
But
that's me on an alt account. No, I'm just kidding.
But gentlemen, I'm gonna get running because I know it's hitting time, and I know Hub is about to wrap up anyway. So I'm gonna get running. Hub, thank you for having me on, man. If you can, please check out that Peter Schrager interview, man. The guy is awesome.
And check out the Revival.
Yeah, and check out, please, man, New York Revival every Tuesday nights, man, 8:30. I think it's a little bit before Hub because I don't want to compete with him. He'd be kicking my ass in the ratings. So I just want to make sure that I don't compete with my brother. So
I shifted for a good while this year, Vibes. I shifted earlier to 9 because it just worked better. I might have to shift back to 9:30, which is, it seems like that works better with my community anyway. So
no, stay at 9 because then I jump on.
I might have to switch back because I'm really getting back into going to the gym like in the afternoon now, so it gives me more time.
Man, I don't think people know. I don't think people know how big Hub is, man, in person.
You know, your traps are looking real good.
Yeah, Hub is like 6'3", I think, in person.
Yeah.
So he's a big freaking guy. So imagine him just pumping that iron and. He's gonna be a scary little guy, man. Not a little guy, because he's gonna be.
I told Ash today.
Yeah.
I told Ash today, Ashton. I was like, Hub is a big motherfucker. Dude.
He could be a lion.
Because I saw
but
next to KB, I was like, this dude, Hub is like, what is she like 6'6", 6'7"? But then I was
Hub's gonna be an walk on.
I didn't know KB was that.
I didn't know he was that small, son.
I didn't know he was that short. I was like, when I saw the picture, I think you guys were at like a gas station or something, or I don't know where it was at, but you guys took a picture.
He's got that banner
that was
photo.
KB at first. So I was like, is that like Hub's like nephew or something like that? He brought to the game or whatever. Like, I didn't know it was KB. And then I saw a picture with him like this. I was like, that's KB.
I don't know if y'all saw Martin. I don't know if y'all ever watched the TV show Martin, but he looked like Roscoe. He looked like Roscoe. Like he's that short. He looked like Roscoe. I was like, that's KB. I did not know. Shout out KB. That's my guy, by the way.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Sometimes I forget I'm technically above average height wise, because when I met Ash, I was like, this man is short. I was like, I thought he was gonna be around my height, bro. But like, I got a good excuse real quick before you pop out, Vibes. For some reason, the high school I went to, and even the college I'm going to right now, maybe it's just the New York area, I was like average height there, yo. Like there was a whole bunch of tall people. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's the New York area, or it's just those schools I happened to go to. But I was like average height, so I never thought I was that tall.
I can't believe it took me that long to meet you in person. I think when we did the the Fan Fest. Bro, I was like, Jesus, man, I didn't think he was that freaking big. I'm shocked.
The goal vibes by April dropped 40 more pounds because I'm doing some cutting weight first. before I get back heavy into weightlifting. And for some of you that don't know, some of the people on the channel know, I had a back injury earlier this year that really kind of took me out of weightlifting in the first place. So I got to wait for that to completely heal and recover before I could get back into it.
Please tell me you're doing some stretches, man. Please.
Oh, yeah. Stretches are way more involved now than they were before.
Yeah, you have to, man. You just can't lift things up and put them down. But whenever you're ready to come to the school of Eli Rack's gym, I got you, bro.
Yeah, by the way, if y'all haven't seen Eli in person, because he always got like either a shirt like that on or a sweater on, that man had a little bit tighter shirt on, and I was like, God damn, he built like this? He muscular?
That was
Too much
listen,
credit.
Hub. That was
Too much
because
credit.
back in the day
Too much credit.
when Hubs was a Daniel Jones supporter, he wore the tights. So he's like, say something about my quarterback. Say something. What'd you say about Daniel Jones? What'd you say about Daniel Jones?
I got you. Yo, you know
Now,
what? You know
when
what?
you see him, he's gonna wear loose shirts. Like, yeah, say whatever. the fuck
Let me
you
tell you,
want.
when I knew, okay, my workout regimen is great, is when you got a retired Marine and my man Pest, he was like, oh, no, you good, bro. Like you look like you can definitely, you all right? Like, I was like, all right, cool, I made it. I was like, I made it, bro. I made it. Good. I made it. So, but yeah, Hub's a big guy in person, man. We gotta definitely link up again. By the way, I gotta hit you up. Sidebar, I know this is live, but sidebar, we're gonna try to do a playoff party. I kind of want to get, some heavy hitters involved. Heavy hitters are involved. You get what I'm saying? So
Vibes, definitely let me know.
I got you.
I was like, if we make the playoffs, I'm doing something. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing something.
Oh no, these are heavy hitters, and
so
I'll
I'm
showing
up.
I believe there was an if the Giants win make the playoffs.
Sarge, you sound a lot better.
Somebody,
Sarge.
well,
Yeah,
I switched the headset.
Perfect.
I believe that somebody in this chat said that they would do a 24-hour space. That's what I heard.
What was it? What was it? 24-hour what?
He said
24-hour Twitter space.
24-hour Twitter space. This maniac.
He's nuts. But you know what? He'll get it done. I think there's no one that can get it done but Rob, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
Don't
the king
you
of
have
that
a
shit.
job, Rob?
I do. But listen, what's going to end up happening is when the playoffs start, the new year will kick in. So I'll have vacation time so I can take a day.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Smart man.
But
Smart
don't
man.
get it
Take 2
twisted.
days, bro.
I'm going to be saving that time. I'm going to do a little vacation in March. I'm going to go to Florida to see my family. But I do want to save some time to try and make it up in August to Fan Fest. I want to meet y'all, man.
Yeah, of course.
Hell
I
yeah.
want to meet.
Hell
I
yeah.
want to meet y'all. I want to meet y'all in person. Go up there, bring the. Well, holy shit! I'm gonna have fucking twins.
Good luck.
So I don't know what's gonna be going on there.
Yo, that would also be the first time you and Pest are in person, right? Or did you guys meet in person already?
I've never met Pest in person.
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
Damn.
I've never
It's
met
long
Pest
overdue.
in person.
It's long overdue. Pest is an
And
awesome
you know
guy.
what's funny? Ash
Awesome fucking
lives probably like 20-25 minutes away from me. Ash does. I haven't even met Ash yet.
Nah, that's on both of y'all, bro. There's no way.
Yeah, there's no
That's
way
on
that
both
shit
of y'all, bro.
happened.
That's 20 minutes. Come on now.
Yo, hold on. Let
So
me just say,
wait a minute.
yo,
So
Ash
Rob,
is
where-
my guy, by the way.
Where
Let me
are
just-
you?
Yeah, where
I'm
are
in
you?
North
Rob?
Carolina.
That's where Smooth lives too, in North Carolina.
He lives there?
Yeah.
He lives here? Yeah, I live in North Carolina.
What were you gonna say?
Why
Bob?
don't y'all link up? But yo, I just want to give flowers to Ash, man. If nobody's been in them Twitter spaces with Ash, man, shout out to my man. I don't know if you want to chat, bro. More flowers to you, bro. I know you don't do content creating as much as you should, but you
Listen.
should do it. Ash is the fucking man, bro.
I was
wanna
gonna
give him
say
his flowers
Ash
to
is
say
one of the
that,
best out there with and consistent with Twitter Spaces.
Hell
Rob
yeah,
too, of
bro.
course. Rob does it every day.
Hell
I told him you need to take a break, bro. I don't know how you
I've
be doing it almost
changed,
every day.
I've changed my schedule. I do it
Okay.
every other. I do Monday, and I take Tuesday off, and then tomorrow we'll be back. I take Thursdays off, and then
Got you,
Fridays,
got you.
and then I take
Yeah,
the weekends
that's
off.
tough how you doing it, bro. I ain't gonna hold you, but listen, there was a void that had to be filled, man, and you filled that shit in them Twitter spaces. So keep killing it, keep killing it, keep killing it, man, keep killing it.
Vibes, though.
But
Thank you, man.
guys,
As usual, bro. Hit
thank
me with
you.
the sidebar when you get the time.
Love you, Eli.
Absolutely, love you guys. I'll talk to you soon.
Peace. Mayhem. We are getting to the end of it here, but I don't want to, bro. You ain't even got to speak that much. Go ahead. What? do you want to address, man? Thibodeau.
Oh God, dude, that KT game was amazing. It was
There you go.
so amazing. I mean, he said it, man. Primetime loves me. That's what I want to see out of our defensive ends, right? I said this in a different chat on another stream, is that New York Giant football is defense. We have always had those guys. LT, Harry Carson, Carl Banks, Strahan, Tuck, OC. We need those guys, those loud, those guys with the personality. That's what New York wants. We want those type of guys representing our football team. So when KT comes out and says, Primetime loves me, and then like the Josina Anderson interview where he's like, I got 12 tackles? How many? That's what we want to see, man. He's funny. He's articulate. When it's struggling, he's like, it's on. He doesn't take credit. He's accountable for his mistakes, or if he feels like he's not playing well. But when it's going well, it's the team. You know what? That's what you want to see out of those guys. That's that kind of fire, that dog, that swag that we want out of our team.
Yeah.
I love it, man. I love it. Give me more of it.
I don't think this might be a weird statement because there's nothing necessarily backing it up. But I don't think you could be a good and star pass rusher and be boring. You got to have some type of personality.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever known a star pass rusher that's boring, bro.
I mean, I'm really interested to see what happens. Obviously this was year 0 of a rebuild. I don't really necessarily think that this offseason was a major challenge for Joe and company, right? They had pretty much a full roster minus just upgrade. It was mainly upgrading and getting better at certain positions, or at least trying to. And you had 11 draft picks, right? Now you're going to have 11 draft picks again. You only have 1 in the first round. So what are you going to do with it? And this year, this offseason, I think is going to be the real test. You have 2 wide receivers on contract that are more than likely going to be back, that being Wan'Dale Robinson and Isaiah Hodgins. You need to update and upgrade in certain areas. What are they going to do? So it's interesting to see that. And then with the draft class, I think we started seeing a little bit of glimpses of Wan'Dale Robinson and what he was going to do. And it sucks that he got injured. We could really use him right now, I think. I think he was really starting to build a little bit of a rapport with some of the other receivers and figure out where he stood within the offense. Daniel Bellinger, he had the one drop, but I think that he may end up being a good player.
I don't even call that a drop, though.
Yeah, the ball was behind him. It should have been more in front of him. But, so Daniel threw a bad ball. But at the same point, like, I've been seeing a lot of players, like, they're trying to catch it with their arms. Use your hands. Like, put your hands out, catch the ball. Like how Saquon made that one catch that he lunged forward. Caught it like this, brought it in, lunged forward. But when you look at the draft class, you got to like what you're seeing out of KAYVON. You got to like the
Of course,
fight
we
and the
wish they were
resilience.
healthier, and same
Of
with
course,
the previous
yeah.
year's draft. We've been
Like
terrible.
really right now, health is the only thing that is really the damper on all of this. But you got to think that you like what you're going to get for the future. Wan'Dale looks like he's going to be a good player, and he's got a good head on his shoulders. KAYVON, Evan Neal, Daniel Bellinger, who was a late pick. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see Darian Beavers. I'll even say this, Cordell Flott, he may not be a starter, but he might be a very good depth piece that's on this roster, to really help. I look at him maybe, and maybe this is an overreach, I don't know, but we drafted guys like Terrell Thomas and Aaron Ross that never really ended up being top-tier corners in the National Football League, but they just fit our system, and they were good fill and plug-in guys. So maybe that's a stretch, I don't know, but I like
you
what
also
we've
have
got
to,
so far as the draft class.
And you also have to counter in the changes that these guys are going to go through from year one to year 2.
Cordell is like very young too. Like a lot of people.
He's 21.
He's 21. I mean, like a lot of our draft class is super, super young.
Super
and like
young.
It's a lot, but like I don't mean to cut you off, but specifically with Cordell, it's a lot to ask. But if he could add like 20 pounds to his frame somehow,
I
like,
was just gonna say that. That's the thing
Yeah.
is like he needs to get stronger, and what helps is that they get a full off season in a
With
pro
the
style
Giants.
weight
Yep.
training program. So it's like you're going to see these guys put on weight in the right way. Like look at Aziz. Like look at the difference in Aziz
From rookie to
from
his
rookie
sophomore
year
year.
to now.
weight-wise.
Right.
Of course,
Yeah.
I hope it doesn't have. Like I said, I still think the weight gain, like muscle gain, is partially why
I
he's
wouldn't
been
be
a bit more
surprised.
injured this year.
I would be
I don't.
surprised.
I
if
don't think that
that's right.
happens for a cornerback though.
Right, but that's different because you're talking about a different.
Yeah.
They're in a different training program than like the front end of the defense. But yeah, you're gonna see these guys definitely make it like their bodies are gonna change a lot over the course of the offseason between the rookie year and year 2. So Cordell might be able to he's going to be able to bulk up a little bit and still maintain that speed and burst that he's got. And then, we'll see what we can supplement in free agency in the draft because we're actually going to have some money to spend this year.
Mm-hmm. Kashif with a very funny joke right here. He says, "Didn't know Karl Marx was a Giants fan. That beard is kind of Mark sex. Not gonna hold you." And then Rob with a question. He says, "Before y'all go, he's playing fantasy. $1,000 play Slayton or Hodgins." That's I might go. You go Hodgins because like they might be focusing on Slayton, right? It's crazy, bro. Did you, Yo? I'm sure you guys know, but if we actually played Slayton from week 1, he would have had a 1,000-yard season this year. He's once again on pace to have what he had his first 2 years, which is like 7 something, but like maybe 800.
What does he got right now?
He's at 631 right now.
I mean, if he has a couple of big games, he could break 1,000.
That's gonna be huge. We only got 3 games left. I don't think he's breaking 1,000. But like, if he played the entire year, like from week 1, he would have had 1,000. That's crazy to think about. Now, I was gonna end the stream here, but we have a last minute caller. I'm gonna pop him on. Get quick thoughts from him. Maybe answer a question or two. Big Blue Wrecking Crew. Shout out to Big Blue Wrecking Crew. What's up, man? With the LT jersey in the back. How you doing?
What's up, boys?
What's up, Big Blue?
Feeling? How we feeling? How we feeling?
Feeling good after a win.
Dude, last night was incredible. That was quite the win. Biggest win we've had in years for sure.
And yeah, it was the game with the most weight on it for a long time too.
Man. Yeah, I was in a very good mood the last 2 days. The last 2 days have been great.
What's up though, man? What you trying to talk about as you drinking that Rona right there?
Oh, dude. Nah, man, I'm just excited, for the playoffs. Things are looking good. I mean, I'm thinking one more win. I mean, hell, even without one more win, we still might get in as a wild card. But hopefully, I'm thinking Indy's probably the game we take out of the next 3. Mm-hmm. Maybe we surprise Minnesota. We could take that one. I mean, who knows? Anything is possible.
I was gonna say, yeah, we touched on it a little bit earlier. 2-1 is possible. 1-2 is possible. I definitely don't think we're going 0-3. Either way, yeah, I think we're seeing playoffs. A good question before you do, Big Blue Wrecking Crew. Who do you think will be the better matchup for us in the playoffs? If we're the 7th seed, we're gonna end up still facing Minnesota, so we're gonna see them very close within a month span. If we're the 6th seed, we face the 49ers. Who do we have a better chance against?
Yeah, Purdy's looking pretty good, as they say, right? I mean, San Fran's got one of, if not the best roster in the NFL. Personally, I'd rather go against Minnesota. I don't think Minnesota's that great. Their record's really good, but I mean, are they as good as their record?
They've had some high highs and some low lows.
Some very low lows. They brought it back, 33-0 the other day. That was pretty nice. But it's like, how are you gonna go down 33-0 against the Colts?
Exactly.
Right. So yeah, I'd rather go against Minnesota. We'll see how we look on Saturday, and how we match up with them. Adoree Jackson, excited to get him back. He probably, I don't know, is there a chance he plays Saturday or probably not?
I don't know. I haven't seen anything yet.
He didn't practice yesterday. And I think they were off today. I think today was like a rehab day, and then they practice again tomorrow. So I think we'll probably know a little bit more probably tomorrow, Thursday time.
It'd be nice to get him back. I mean, not saying he'd lock down Justin Jets, but I think he would, it would help getting
I
him
think he'd
back.
do a
So.
really good job. I think, hey man, they're both fast. we gonna need his speed if he comes back.
Yeah, definitely for sure. But yeah, would much rather play Minnesota. Purdy, it's like you can put any quarterback behind that San Francisco's, under center, and they're gonna do all right. They're just so stacked, It really doesn't matter who's under center. So definitely would rather play Minnesota. But hell, I just want the chance. Let's just get in the playoffs. Just get the experience, having that opportunity to sit down, watch the Giants play a playoff game. It's been 6 years. It's been too long. So
Extremely long.
let's just get in, and anything can happen. Look at the Bengals last year, right? No one thought they'd go to the Super Bowl. Let's have one of those magical runs.
If Adoree doesn't play, I would want McLeod to be on Adam Thielen and have Fabian on Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, definitely.
The matchup though that I feel is going to kill us is going to be Darnay Holmes on Osborne. He's going to torch him. That's the thing that I don't like. That's the only matchup I don't like.
How about KAYVON though? KAYVON looking like the man behind me 2.0. Dude. That boy, I gotta get.
Like I said, I'm gonna go with Strahan 2.0. But yeah, I definitely gotta get a KAYVON jersey for sure. But guys, that's gonna be it for tonight. Like I said, I was gonna end it soon though. Wrecking Crew, thank you so much for calling in, man. I appreciate the support, and shout out to that LC jersey in the back, bro.
Always a pleasure, bro.
No
Take
problem.
it easy, brother. Enjoy the game on Saturday.
Yep.
Go Big Blue.
Before we go out, can I get a Rock and Hulk Hogan outro, I guess, from you guys?
What do you Hulk? You want to go first?
I don't, dude. I'm not ripping this shirt. I'll tell you what.
You don't got to rip the shirt.
I'll tell you what. I'll work on something for next time. Either Macho Man or maybe I was always a big Taz fan, so maybe Taz.
From ECW,
oh God,
Taz?
The human suplex machine, Taz. Hell yeah!
All right, okay. Thank you, Densley. By the way, so you got it, The Rock.
Nah, he's.
Oh my God! Listen here, jabronis. You guys, we got a nice little W in the DMV. KAYVON ThibodeauX came out on top. He showed that he was here. But now we go all the way up to Minneapolis. Now those Vikings, they look okay, but they've got Kirk Cousins, the fraud, the turnover machine. And let me tell you something. There ain't no way. And R0B means no way that KAYVON, Aziz, Sexy Dexy, Leonard Williams, and that man, the myth, the legend, Jihad Ward, step off, ain't gonna get in your face and make you pay. Because make no mistake about it, Kurt. Make no mistake about it, Minnesota Viking fans. Grab your popcorn, grab your fish, grab your drink, whatever you want to eat on Christmas Eve. Because when it's all said and done and the smoke clears and you put your heads down on your little pillows, say your prayers, put your hands together because the New York Giants are coming to Minnesota to take a lump of coal up all your candy asses. If it's a man now, what R0B? The Hub and Sarge and the New York football fucking Giants is cooking.
I ain't got nothing to add, yo, except y'all better run that like button up. Shout out to everybody in the chat. You guys were great. Shout out to everybody that tuned in, the viewers. Without you, the show ain't possible. And that's the bottom line. Cause Stone Cold said so. And we out. Oh, hold up. We out? You gonna say something? Am I out or are we out?
I was drinking the beer while you were doing Stone Cold. I was drinking the beer.
Now we out. And bro.